All righty, we are here. Okay. We have lots to talk about. Okay, let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see who's here. We got Favored. Hello, Lowe's. I'm a raindrop from Jersey. Hi, Favored. 357. We got Nate. What up, Nate? My raindrop, Nate. We got Peggy. Hi, Peggy. Peggy, are you behaving yourself, child? Peggy. Sometimes you be do a lot of reading, child. Okay. Who else we got? Shantae Roberts from Charlotte, North Carolina. We got Tana Rosario. Okay, we got my boy Lionel. Hi, Lionel. LTV Productions. We love Lionel. He's a OG Raindrop. Where has Sheridan been? Sheridan is an OG Raindrop, but I feel like I haven't seen her in a while. Is she busy? She got things to do besides be with us on a Monday? Okay, Anthony. Carlos always looks booked and blessed. Thank you. We got Sandy from London. I will see you soon, Sandy. Okay. Beyonce, come to New York already. I will. And you got to see Dustin Ross's live show. He added a new show on March 17th. He added a second show at the City Winery. So if you're in New York City, make sure to check out Dustin, okay? He added a second show because the first one was sold out in like 4 days, which is a huge accomplishment. Nate, we need more tour dates. I know. A lot is going on. Okay, so updates. I'm gonna bring in my guest. A lot is going on, child. It's all good stuff. Work is crazy. Work is crazy. I'm popular in Canada. Thank you, Crystal Rubby. I need to go to Canada too. Work is crazy. And I'm not gonna say much. Every time I tell y'all something, I feel like something happens. But I had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. I'm trying something new. And that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so I'll say this. I'm gonna break up my guess. In this season of life, this is true. Nate, mind your business, child. No, it's not a new race or a new gender. I'll say that. This is what I'll say as I fix myself up. In this season of life, and I can't wait to get Dustin and Claudia's POV about this before we dive into like RHOA. In this season of life, this is my thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna take it back, okay? Thank you, Tammy. If you are single over the age of 35 and you have a type and you are single over the age of 35, stop dating your type and date something new. Try something new. You will be pleasantly surprised. I am private, thank you. All I'll say is this. Just try something new. And you will be pleasantly surprised what may come out of it. That's all I'm saying. So that's that. Okay. So let's bring on the guest. But I want to get Dustin and Claudia's POV, and then we're going to talk about one hot topic, and then we're going to get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 premiere. So first things first, let's bring on my guy, my boy, a sold out showstopper. He is. Give it up for Dustin Ross.
Yeah. What's up, Raindrops? What's up, Los? And thank you for the love, brother. You know I appreciate you. I love you, man. Thank you.
No, I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. So again, we have Dustin Ross, March 17th, sold out show. Dustin, once again, explain to them briefly what they can expect from the show.
This is a one-man show, written and produced by myself, stand-up comedy centered. But I'm gonna make you guys laugh for about an hour on Monday night. And the good folks at City Winery here in New York City, which is where the damn show is gonna be, they invited me to do a second show because of the overwhelming support we got selling out that first fucking show in 5 days. So shout out to everybody. There's still just a few tickets left. If you go to citywinery.com and just search my name, D-U-S-T-I-N, you actually you type in Dust and they pulling my shit up. So you type in D-U-S and they can come right up. You know what I'm saying? Click the link, get them tickets to that 10 o'clock show, and let's have a good time. Close out St. Patrick's Day the right way. Thank you, Los. And I love the fact that you're private. I love talking about, I love it when you come on here and you talk about your private parts of your life. You know what I'm saying? I love that. You are a private person. And I think they love talking about the private parts of your life. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Dustin,
we need Claudia. We need Claudia. Get my girl up here. We got to talk our shit tonight, Carlos.
Dustin Ross, I can't. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies, gentlemen, gays and days, give it up for our mutual friend. She did such. I mean, listen, she's Claudia Jordan. I mean,
that's right. No,
there doesn't need to be an introduction. So let's bring on my friend, Dustin's friend, our girl, Claudia Jordan.
This is gonna be one of them goddamn shows. I already know. Okay, can I just say, first of all, thank you for having me back. This has been so fun. I really appreciate y'all letting me play with y'all in this space with y'all the last weekend today. It was really fun. I love it. I enjoyed it last week. It was so fun.
Yes.
Carlos, as a talk show host for many, many years, my job is to read people and to just look at people and just look at the nonverbal communications. That's also something us actors do. We have, right, Dustin? We have to look at the nonverbals. The way Carlos is carrying on with that very toothy grin.
Yeah.
It's giving.
Some went down this weekend. Something went down.
I don't know if what you are sexually in bed, bottom, top, whatever, but you're looking how I look when I get penetrated.
Yeah.
You're looking very happy, like you were made love to, or you're very happy about. Look at the smile. He cannot hold, like that's
made new again. You like, bloomed.
All 32.
Made new again. Yeah.
Yes, you are looking like you have been made love to. Your soul is made love to.
Even you do look a little more relaxed.
Look at the eyes.
Yeah.
Look at it's so yes.
And you look confident. Anytime I fuck, I'll be feeling confident the next day. Like, I can conquer the world. Like I have got what it takes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we see. That might be what we see, Claudia. Sometimes we need a woman's perspective. Thank you, Claudia.
Dustin, we see it. I see it because look, okay. Can we do a side by side between someone who hasn't had sex in a long time and then Carlos King's face? Can you just put us next to each other real quick? Look at the lifeless look in my eye. Look, no sparkle. And look at Carlos. Carlos is glowing. He wants to say his name so bad, but he can't. But he wants to.
You know what, Claudia? You on to something because if you look in that background, it looked like the nigga had company.
Yeah.
Look, the candles are new. There's some new candles. Them new candles. What is that? An etage? Ain't that what that's called? Them plants on that wall. Carlos, what's going on?
And then look at Dustin. I believe the balcony door's open, so he's letting it air out.
Because air out. That's right. That's right. You know that smell. Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I heard of a new car scent, but
two men making love ferociously before the show, and then he had when he signed on, the shirt was undone. And I said something about showing a lot of skin. I think he just got done fucking. That's what I think. Oh, making love.
His last name King. His last name King. It was a dictatorship this weekend, wasn't it? I believe so.
All hail to the king. Mm-hmm.
What
good
has
for you.
happened
Good
to
for
the
you.
show?
Good for you, Carlos.
Yes, yes.
First of all, I am not going to say anything, but I do want to ask you this.
Who said
And
Claudia know
Claudia.
damn well she been fucked? I have not been fucked in a long time, you guys. What I will do, I'm gonna brag about it. And listen, Justin knows who my crush is right now.
Yeah.
And if that happens, I'm gonna be looking like
when it happens,
very giddy.
When it happens, because when you find out who it is, Carlos, you'll agree it's definitely gonna happen. But one more point about Carlos's business. One more point about we ain't done with you yet. One more point about your business, Carlos. Claudia, you know they probably win a good 2-3 rounds because Carlos a vegan. So you know he didn't have stamina and shit. Carlos was in that motherfucker going, hey man.
Carlos, do you eat a lot of pineapple, Carlos?
I know
that makes it sweet out here.
Okay, so anyways, I want to
Dustin, I think you're right. Because look he's exhausted. He's not even saying anything. He's
according to the blogs, I'm into Keisha Kaur, so I don't know what.
I'm
married.
That's your good, Judy. Man. First of all,
I'm married with 2 kids in North Carolina.
That first of all, we can't have friends. Keisha Kaur is a very publicly married, married woman.
Beautiful girl.
And literally her marriage is the nucleus of her public identity, right? Like she's all about her nigga, her husband. You know what I mean? So the assumption that she would even do something so flagrant is irresponsible as a what, Carlos? Journalist, as a blogger, as a whatever you are. Okay, that is very irresponsible to put that on that woman and her character when she saw nothing but undying love for her nigga Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was ridiculous. Yeah.
Carlos likes who's up in that room upstairs right now waiting for the show to be over. The nigga is still there. He's there.
No, he's not. You catch that? No, he's not.
There is. Yeah.
So he was. But he ain't no more.
I want to move. I want to transition.
I bet you do. But we want to delve deeper, like your friend did. We want to delve deeper. Hit on. I got a few zingers too now.
Yeah, you in the mood, ain't you?
Mm-hmm. No, I will say this. Dustin has given me great advice. My friends have. Claudia has. Nene has. Marlo has. And I've been listening. So I want to say this when I move on to the hottest topic of the weekend and then Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay.
So I want to say this. My raindrops know that.
Look at the smile. It's unbelievable.
No, the thing is this. How can I say this? So the thing is this. I have a type. Where did Dustin go?
Dustin. We may have lost him. I'm sure he would like to hear this. Here he is. He's reconnecting.
What did I do? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. So this is the thing, and the reason why I want to talk to the 3 of y'all and my audience. Okay.
Oh, wait. You said the 3 of y'all. Me, Dustin, and the man that's over there right now. Is that
no? The three of us. I meant the 3 of us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for more clues.
I promise you.
Freudian slip.
Right.
No, the thing is this. The thing is this. I have always had a type, right? Mm-hmm. I have always been.
Clear that throat, boo. Open up them throat chakras again. I'll join you.
This is the messiest episode in the world. So Claudia and Dustin. I have always dated the same type. I like short, brown, and round. We all know that, right? That's my thing. Okay. So when I became recently single, okay.
After you got done breakdancing, what happened?
No, I started to do what I'm like, okay, so I started to just go after what I was used to.
Yeah.
And then I'm being very honest here, Claudia. So Dustin said to me privately, like, you know, you got to just try something different, continue dating until whatever. And then one of my homeboys said, you got to try something different. So I said that to say, I went after some because I approach men. I'm very much the guy who approach, right?
So,
That's are the same. When I see you, we lock. I have a 2-second rule. If we lock eyes for 2 seconds, that's you giving me the permission to say hello and possibly other things like what up though. So I'm the approacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by short, for my audience, if you're 5'9" and under, you had me at hello.
Really?
So, anyways, I said, let me just try something different. And I have been pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised because this person is not typically what I would go after.
One question. Question. Does this person dance to the beat of the music, or do they dance to the words?
White or black?
I know what you.
White or black, Carlos? Come on.
That's all I want.
Oh, he's black.
Okay,
he's
all right, okay.
Is he light skin? Is he light skin and tall and younger than you? I told you I do this for a living, honey. I know I just nailed it. He's like Dominican, Puerto Rican. I'm getting Caribbean, maybe light skin, but tall, athletic, younger. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Look at the smile. I know this. You can't lie. You can lie to the girls, the kids. You can't lie to me.
Anyways, the thing is, Claudia.
I'm special.
We'll talk afterwards. The thing is this. I believe if you're single over 35, you have to experiment with people who are not your typical type. Would y'all two agree?
I don't think you have to, but I think it would be advantageous for you to. You know what I mean? I think that trying something different, it takes balls to do that when it comes to attraction, and people lose confidence when it comes to that space when it's new for them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going after a type of person that is not typically who you engage in them type of conversations with, a lot of people get cold feet and start stumbling and looking stupid, and it just gets weird. So the fact that you confidently slid into that space, I think that's cool, Carlos.
I heard what you said earlier, Carlos. To piggyback off what Dustin's saying, I heard you earlier saying if you're over 35 and single, and you're single, you shouldn't date your type. I tell my friends that all the time. I go, if you keep having problems with relationships, your type that you think is your type doesn't fuck with you. And I have to get out of my own way sometimes too, right? And it's some advice that a lot of people can give that, but it's hard to actually take it because you're so used to something. So change is usually scary for a lot of people. But a lot of times, like, success is on the other side of that fear. Like, oh my God, I would have never thought, but I'm happier than I was before. I thought I knew my type. And a lot of people will spin their wheels forever going for their type. And God's like, nah, that ain't the one. That ain't the one. It's not for you. Doesn't work out. You have to try something else.
And your type is a lot more than the way a person looks, right? You can still go for
yes.
Your preference is your preference when it comes to what a person looks like or what you're attracted to, what makes you, what it does. But there's other characteristics that you can explore, you know what I'm saying, new territories and still be comfortable. So what did it look like for you, Carlos? What's different about him?
He fine and tall. I think he's light skinned.
And down he goes. Look at him.
Look at him. Is that your second time going down today, Carlos, or your first?
down, baby. You feel me?
I'm sorry. I meant like going downstairs. You clearly have multiple stories in your place.
Damn.
Let's move
on. I bet you want to move on.
We happy for you. Look, we checking on our strong friend right now.
I like that you're so happy and giddy. Like, that is the goal, you guys. Like, we're choosing him because he's our friend. But if you love someone and you care about someone, you want to see your friend with all 32 showing. Happy like that. Like, look at the eyes squinting, the head leaning to the side. He is smitten right now. You are
good for him.
I love it. Like, I think that's so cute to watch, like to see. I really do.
Yep.
Thank you, my two Aries.
Yes.
That's right.
Besties. Okay, so look, let's I'll call y'all later. No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, we need to talk actually about, a couple of things. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so one of the breaking news that happened over the weekend before we get into season 16 premiere of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm sure all of you guys saw what happened when fellow journalist and ESPN anchor Stephen A. Smith was approached by LeBron James at LeBron James' work, which is the court. Okay. And he listen, I'm paraphrasing, but LeBron James pretty much told Stephen A. Smith, that's my son. Keep my name, son, out your mouth. That's my son, blah, blah, blah. Stephen A. Smith felt the need to address it, and he did. And in so many words, he felt like, look, that's that man's son. I respect it. There's nothing else to say about it. But I want to talk about this because all three of us can relate to this. And this is the reason why it's so special to me. The three of us have shows where we give our opinion.
Yes.
I give my opinion on reality stars. Dustin gives his opinion on everything. And so does Claudia. I stick with the reality stars because I'm like, I don't need nobody else checking me. I will say this. I know what it's like to be approached. I mentioned how, I'll give you an example. The good thing with me, because at the end of the day, you ain't too crazy. No, I've been in rooms where people felt like I didn't like them. It's never been like aggressive the way LeBron approached Stephen A. Smith. What I get Claudia and Dustin is, you don't like me. Why did you say that about me in your podcast? And once I explain myself, everything's been good. So that's been great with me. But do you guys think it's fair that LeBron confronted Stephen A. Smith, considering at the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith is doing his job as a journalist, reporting on his son's stats, but not attacking his character as a man?
You want to go first, Claudia?
Sure. I get both sides of the argument because LeBron is a parent, and a lot of people are coming for Bronny. But I also have to say what they're saying about Bronny is not false. He's actually in a little bit over his head, and that he actually gives him props saying that he should be developing himself more in the G League, and that's where he stands out. And he's kind of young and not as experienced to quite be on the court with grown men in the NBA. So I get his criticism, but I also get people being sick of Stephen A. Smith's harsh. Sometimes it's all in the tone. You know what I'm saying? And then I will say this about Stephen A. Smith that I don't like. You know, we all put ourselves out there and we have been approached. People do come up to us. They do say things. And I think Stephen A. Smith was making the point that he wanted LeBron to come to him in private about the conversation and talk to him privately. But what Stephen A. Smith said about his son wasn't private. So I can get it as a parent, but as a businessman, I think that LeBron should probably know better that, you know, it kind of does come with the territory. A lot of people, he's not the only one coming for your son, LeBron. A lot of people are. And if you want to really protect your son, maybe really get him ready to be in the NBA and maybe develop him a little bit more before it's prime time for your son, so he doesn't get dragged like this. But after Stephen A. Smith has been moving lately, I am here for a fun little Stephen A. Smith light roast. I will say.
Well, yeah, I disagree a little bit, Claudia. I think that LeBron was 100% in the right for checking the shit out of Stephen A. Smith. That's what he gets. Let's not pretend like Stephen A. There's a difference between commentary, offering your opinion, in a professional space, a space like we're in right now. There's a difference between doing that and being mean, hateful, nasty, unprompted. You can report on something, give your opinion on it without tearing the person down. You know what I mean? You can even crack jokes. There's a way to do it. Stephen A. Smith is notorious for tearing people down. Let's not forget his penchant for tearing down Black women, pitting Rihanna and Beyonce against one another publicly in public forums. He's been on a world tour romanticizing Donald Trump and his politics and explaining why Donald Trump lost in a way that as if y'all should have known this because this is how they're thinking and it's right. Stephen A. Smith ain't shit, and he looks like Lynn Thigpen, the Black lady from Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I'm not interested. I thought it was hilarious that LeBron checked him, and that's what he gets. And let's not forget either, I think it's important to note, that's the only person we've seen LeBron go in like that on. how many people been talking shit about Bronny, calling him a Nepo baby and all the things, and some people's points are relevant, some are not, but we only saw him break off like that on Stephen A. Smith because that's who deserved it. So I'm all for it. Get your $100 million. What did he just get? $100 million for 5 years over there at ESPN. Get money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it. Do your thing. But when you say things a certain way, there's a consequence that comes along with that, especially when you're talking about somebody's child. So, and then in that video, when he addressed it, right? He sounded stupid because number one, you're on one hand, you start off the video saying he's a parent. That was a parent that was talking to me. And I know that's what that was. Then he goes on to say, but if he was going to address me, he should have waited until we was private. He should have waited, did it this way, did it. He did do it. He did do it exactly the way he needed to do it. He saw you, he checked you, and he handled you. And you can try to say it was too public or you would have rather had it this way. Unfortunately, Stephen A. Smith, you don't get to decide that. You just get to get checked in that moment. And I feel like LeBron was 100% in the right. That's how you step in it and stand for your family. He was on his King Harris, standing on business. Remember when King? I'm standing on business. That's exactly what LeBron was on.
I get what you're saying about Stephen A. Smith as a whole. 1,000%. I do not appreciate how he definitely comes for Black women, especially Kamala Harris.
All the time.
And then he puts himself into the conversation of, I won this poll that they want me to run for president because the Democratic Party is so pathetic. He did go in this round. No one asked you. No one actually put you in a real poll, Stephen A. Smith. That's not true. Yep. I didn't hear him say something extra hateful about LeBron. Bronny. I didn't hear that. So if I'm mistaken on that, please someone send me a clip because I didn't know that he said something super personal about Bronny. I thought he was just criticizing his play in the game. If he did say something super even personal, then I 100% agree with you because there's a lot of stuff we can say about him on the personal side as well. Where's your wife and your hairline? I don't know, but anyways, I do think that he is being a jerk lately in a lot of topics. I just didn't know that he was exceptionally nasty to LeBron's son on a personal side. I thought he was just criticizing his game. So I didn't know that.
He was criticizing his game, criticizing why he's even there in the first place. All of that shit. He was going after him. That's a young Black man. You can feel however you feel about him being there, but he's there. And your job as a Black journalist, that fucking visible, is not to tear him down when all these young white people are getting through in entertainment as Nepo babies. Let's not even talk about corporate America and how many white people are just giving the keys to the kingdom or whatever. Let Bronny come through. He'll get better. His dad is fucking LeBron James. Let him come through. And you, Stephen A. Smith, occupying the spaces you have and having the audience you have, you build them up. Contrast all the negative news that you hear. Tell the truth. I'm not saying spare him or treat him like a baby, right? But there's a way that you can handle him with more care than you do. And he seemed gleeful in his commentary on Bronny James to me. And I think that's what really pissed LeBron off. So,
Carlos, over here?
Yeah, no, the thing is, it's tough. But I am happy that they did talk it out. Because the thing is this. Stephen A. Smith has a job to do. And I do think sometimes people can go too far. I personally just don't ever want to address kids. And I know it's a different situation. He's on the court. There's kids over 18 on reality television. I just personally, and again, this is no shade to nobody. I don't like talking about anyone's children, meaning critiquing or commenting on their scenes in reality television, because I just feel like they're kids. Yes, they're over 18 and all bets are off, but I don't know. I think it's very dicey. It is very dicey. And I think at the end of the day, LeBron is a parent. And I think because we all had mamas come up to the school and cuss out a principal or a teacher. And so sometimes parents do come out of their own sort of situation when it comes to their child. So I think LeBron at the end of the day is a father, and he wasn't a basketball legend at that time. He was a dad. And that's kind of how I saw things. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of legends, y'all want to get into the season 16 premiere of the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I've been waiting all day.
Yes.
Who wants to go first? Because I state my opinion, because I wanted to do a solo episode on it, because I know so many people wanted me to dive into it. So I did mine. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it. I uploaded it last night. Thank you, Dustin. Dustin and Claudia, I'm so curious to hear your take. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 premiered last night. We got Portia, we got Shamea, Britt, Kelly, Angela Oakley, Drew Sidora, with Kenya Moore, our friend, involved. She was still there, and so was Cynthia Bailey, another friend of ours. Talk about the premiere. Take it away, Dustin. What are your thoughts on the premiere? And then I want to break things down to a science.
Okay, so first of all, I've been waiting with bated breath. I've been rocking with the Real Housewives of Atlanta since season 1, episode 1. Claudia and I became friends, personal friends in real life back in season 7. So actually back in season 6, before seven. So
I followed your commentary and I reached out. I'm like, oh my God, I love your takes on things. And we became friends.
So it's a real thing in my life. I was excited about the reboot and the new energy. I was optimistic and all my expectations were met. That was a fucking incredible season premiere. My attention was grabbed from start to fucking finish. I felt like they did a great job highlighting personal story in a way that kind of hooked us in. An example of that is we'll talk about Shamea deserves her own section of this conversation, so I'll reserve my comments for her when we get there. But an example of the good production that was done in this episode is the scene at Kelly's tea party birthday for her 17-year-old daughter, Chloe. And when we saw her talking to her family, doing what you do when you're prompted to discuss a certain topic at the table, right? She was doing that and it was landing. But when her daughter, Chelsea, walked up to that table because she heard her name, and Kelly had to think on her feet and tell her little girl that she said her name because she was the most beautiful baby girl and all those things. And then Kelly looked and was like, damn, after the daughter walked away from the table, that was real. That was authentic. That was the personal story that endears us to these characters. And I'm hooked in. The new ladies are showing up. They don't give a fuck about nobody that was there before them. They saying what they have to say, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. I thought this was an incredible season premiere. I love everybody right now. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I was thoroughly impressed. And the fact that they were able to build this show around Shamea, who we've known for all of these years, and we always knew she had potential to really do her thing on this cast. But now to see her presented as a legit housewife, and not just as a housewife, Shamea is driving this car. We all thought the show was going to be centered around Portia. They announced her first when they announced into the cast of season 16. And Portia has so much shit going on in her life that it was a no-brainer that there was going to be a chunk of this show devoted to her. But the fact that Shamea was the surprise for us, and not only a surprise, but she met the moment. So what the fuck more do you want? Big ass house, real money, bad clothes. She's going to be the Giselle of Atlanta, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because the difference between Giselle and Shamea is that Shamea will hear the criticism about her looks, and she won't be defiant like Giselle was. She'll get a stylist. She has access to stylists. Candy is close to her. She's working with Daniel Hawkins right now, and he's got her together. Shamea's next. And once we have that, the clothing roadblock, once we get around that, I think that Shamea, she was just a natural leader in this episode. I was so impressed. Family, extended family, willing to film, ready, met the moment. She met the moment and showed herself fit as the leader of this cast. Angela Oakley is funny to me. She is literally, when they have the races, Claudia, you a track star. When they're waiting to take off on the track, and they're waiting for that gun, and then they take off running. That's how Angela is in every scene. She's like, as soon as I get in this conversation, it's on. I saw a preview for next week when she's checking Shamea as they sit down and talk. She's ready for her moment, and you need that type of thirst on the cast. You know what I'm saying? In order to kind of propel things along. So I am blown. I'm very, very happy. And I want to say this about Kenya, right? Because I'm a person who was very, I was against Kenya being, exiled from this cast. I thought the show was going to suffer for that. And although I miss Kenya's presence because I want to see what's happening with her and I want to see her be a part of this cast, and I feel like she deserved to, the energy that I did see from her last night, it didn't fit with the rest of the energy from the cast. She stuck out like
I disagree with you.
She stuck out like a sore thumb, and she was negative. She was negative every time we saw her. She was focused on the mess, and the rest of these girls were living, showing up, delivering in other ways where I did not miss Kenya Moore. Yep.
I disagree, but I'm gonna have Claudia go next. And we're gonna get back to that. Go ahead, Claudia.
To be honest, I have not watched Real Housewives of Atlanta since probably 9 years ago. It's been a long time. I peeked in probably 2-3 times since I've been off the show. So I'm like, to me, it was like watching a brand new show. I think for years it didn't work because you tried to integrate a whole bunch of new girls with too many of the old girls that have all this entitlement, and they're never going to let you in all the way. They're going to try to haze you. And it's like, no one's really on equal footing. I feel like this year with a lot of the older girls out of the way, it was a little bit better. Like, you don't want to just be fighting with someone just because they think they should be picking with you because you might blow up or you might be a threat or you're new. I like all the girls kind of like, a lot of them were new to me. I, of course, knew Shamea, but Shamea to me had always been presented as Portia's like in Portia's shadow, Portia's friend. She was totally standing on not just being Portia's friend. She stood out as the leader of the show. Seemed grounded around her, and that was some real wealth, not by some scamming. I tried to tell people a long time ago. People try to tell me I was hating. I said I heard from a source that the way Simon got his wealth is not the way he said. I heard a wire went to him. This is allegedly that he wasn't supposed. There was some wire thing, the situation that went on. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I said that a long time ago. So his wealth was always in question. And this was Shamea. I love, and that's no shade towards Portia. That's only about Simon. Okay. With Shamea, husband that's present, wants to film, engaging personality, kind, happy to be there, loving the family. I like that Charles Oakley is there with his like kind of salty kind of way about him. Like you could tell he gonna be like the new age kind of like, I don't know, kind of
Peter Thomas
by Peter, but like more a little bit more like more kind of, I don't know, polished, I guess, right? And I like it though, but it's that kind of vibe where I'm gonna just tell it like it is. I don't give a damn what y'all got to say. I do like that. I feel like I kind of do feel like the older girls do look a little. It made them look a little auntie-ish compared to the other girls on the show. I have to say that. And the young girls did appear fresher, and they are, and they're new. They want to get it. They want to. I think everyone's probably fighting to be the star, and there is an opening now. That's what I think. But I was at first, I was like, do I like it or do I not like it? But is it boring? Is it not boring? But okay, towards the end, I was like, okay, I like this. I do like how people were not afraid to listen. I like a girl that's not afraid to like ask a question they want to know, because what the fuck are we here for? If I have to, there's some hierarchy. I can't ask you because you have 10 years experience on the show. No, because when we start a new season, we're all on the same level and we're all on the same show together. And if I want to ask a question, I'm gonna ask a question because I want to know who I'm hanging with. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was great. Okay, so I want to go back to what Dustin said about Kenya. And Claudia, I want you to give your thoughts too.
Okay.
I didn't think Kenya was being negative at all. The thing is this is how I feel. And yes, disclaimer, me and Kenya are friends. But one thing about Kenya knows publicly and privately, I start private first. I will always say my opinion regardless because I got to be credible.
Yeah.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly, Dustin. I don't think she was being negative at all. I think when I saw Kenya grace the screen, love her or hate her, and listen, this is I really do feel this way. The greatest reality stars in the world is a woman or a man or they who you either love them or you hate them because both works. Right? You never want to be somebody who's all beloved because when someone hates you, you can't handle it. You're like, oh my gosh. And obviously you can't be all hate because nobody gonna like you. I love it when you're both. And I think Kenya more exemplifies a woman. You either love Kenya or you hate her. There's no middle ground. I think Claudia Jordan, somebody, you either love Claudia or you hate her. I told Claudia the story, Dustin. I was at the bank once. I was at the bank once because I'm old school. And this beautiful Black woman at the bank said, I saw you guest co-host TGIF, and this is no shade. And she was like, I like you. And I said, okay. She said, but I love Claudia.
Yeah.
And here I go. Well, you didn't say you love me. I'll tease. But it was somebody, because again, you would think there's people who don't like Claudia, right? Yes. And this beautiful Black woman at the bank, she works in the cubicle where you got big shit going on. So it goes to show you that you got to be both. I think Kenya is both. I saw Kenya on the episode. I missed her. I think she has this delicious laughter. I don't think she was being negative to Britt Edie at all. I think Kenya was asking the questions. And I think Britt, who I like, by the way, I like Britt. I think Claudia is 100% spot on. And this is to me why this episode worked. I do not want to see a new reality star enter an established franchise being afraid to state their opinion.
Being subordinate.
I don't want a new reality star coming into a show being like, I'm nervous. Because one thing y'all don't know that I'm going to say to y'all now, Claudia knows this. There's a lot of people who should have been on Atlanta Housewives that were filming. And then next thing you know, they disappeared because they could not handle being on the show. Because Claudia, my line, don't say names, Claudia.
No, I won't. I'm not messy anymore.
Okay. These Claudia, these people can be intimidating.
Yeah.
I appreciate Britt not being. You said what?
If you give a fuck, I wasn't a fan of anybody who I got on that show, so I didn't care. I was like, ain't nobody. Would you like to see my resume? Why am I chipping on you? All you've done is a reality show. I'm not like scared, but I also don't think that there should be a hierarchy with humans. And I'm not just
no.
I just feel like people get like, I can't say anything that person no, but I will say this. I also do think it was a bit of ask questions, but I can see that it did come off rude to Portia to just right away say, why you take that lady's man? I do think there should have been a little warming up conversation first, like, hey, nice to meet you. My name is this, blah, 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 small talk, and then maybe off to the side. Because at that point, you knew that, to me, that was just trying to get the moment for the scene. And listen, me and Portia are not friends. I'm not, I'm not capping for her or anything, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And if anyone asked me my business without a warm-up conversation, I would probably have the same reaction too. Like, first of all, bitch, hello, introduce yourself properly before you go into a deep dive into my business. I do think she was right to have that reaction. I ain't mad at old girl for trying because it's a reality show and it's there for our entertainment. But also that is, come on, in real life, you would not allow that to happen in your real life circles. You would, no one would. No one would.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. And to be fair, right, I will offer this. We are not seeing the totality of what Kenya contributed to this season, right? Because they're editing the majority of her participation out. Because we know she's going to get phased out. So all I saw was her making faces, moving story along in a messy way, introducing negative energy to the group. I did think that just like it was abrupt when Kelly said, well, my question was, why did she take that lady's husband? I was happy it happened because we've been waiting for years to hear somebody ask Portia that. However, it was abrupt to me when Kenya was making those comments to Brittany about her ring. Just her whole energy when they were outside on that patio was just off to me when she was talking to Britt. And it was like, well, where is this shit coming from? And it felt like some of that hazing shit that they used to do. Kenya was, you know what it was? I think the energy was so new and fresh on the show. Kenya's behavior felt old to me, not in her age, but it felt like an old way of operating as a housewife, looking for the mess. When you talking to Drew, Portia's Dennis and Highland, you sure she know all of that just that mean edge, you know what I'm saying? It was missing from the other stories. I feel like the mess is gonna roll on its own, right? It's gonna happen by people having disagreements, clashes, whatever. You don't always have to throw it into the fucking circles, right? Sometimes you can just operate. And I think Kenya's at her best being a mom, being cool, when she's comfortable and feels like she's amongst women that she can be a little more vulnerable with. I think she's great. When she's fully in her mode, starting shit on the show, I think she's great. I just don't think last night's episode was the place for that. And what I saw from her did not mesh with what I saw from everybody else, if that makes sense.
I gotta say something about Kenya's personality, because of course people think that I was hired to be Kenya's I don't know, errand girl, which absolutely the fuck not. I talked to Kenya like in real life, even back then, I talked to Kenya like once a year. Like, but when we pick back up, it's like no time has passed. I hardly talk to Kenya like that. When we see each other, we have a good time. We might not talk for a year and then go, let's go to Vegas next weekend. All right, cool. Like, that's our friendship. So no one has ever puppet string me or told me what to do. Like, that's never going to happen. But I will say this in her defense, I have to say. A lot of people don't, like, they take Kenya way more seriously than she is. She actually does a little like shit stirring. She's just having fun. Like sometimes I do this in conversations. Like I'll say some shit. I'm laughing inside to myself, like, let me just fuck with them a little bit, just because it's fun. Yeah. And I think she does that. And I think Kenya really wanted to come on the show, Housewives, way back then, because I used to talk to her more. Wanting to be like the good girl. But once she was deemed, she's going to be a cute villain, right? She leaned into that. And she's like, oh, that's what y'all want? That's what I'm going to give y'all. Because trust me, I would never be able to be friends in real life with someone that was doing that to me all the time. Had she been shady to me before? Yes. And I make fun of her. I clown back about it all the time, but she does sometimes do mischievous things that if you already don't like Kenya more, you're gonna say, here she is being an evil bitch again. She's miserable. She ain't got no man. She be having them. She just don't share them with y'all.
Yeah, and I also think too is everything you said. First of all, I was working with Claudia. I can confirm no one, not one person was in Claudia's ear the whole time. Claudia does what she wants to do. Look, no shade, good or bad. Claudia does what the fuck she wants to do. But that's what makes her to me so interesting, because she's unpredictable. I think Kenya operates the same way. What I thought was also unpredictable, I agree with you, Dustin. We need to spend time on Shamea. And I had no idea. And I'm being real. As somebody who met Shamea on the show, worked with Shamea. I lived in Atlanta for a long time, hung out with Shamea. Shamea is so humble and low key. And I know we talk a lot about loud money, new money, old money. You know, there's this saying, I may butcher it, that rich is loud, but wealth whispers. And Shamea is the latter, right? I had no idea Shamea had that much wealth in her life. I did not know that. She never came across that way. She's never. And listen, this is no shade. Let's have a real conversation. If you ever been in Atlanta, and I love Atlanta, and I love all the girls, okay? There is some parts, not all. There is, however, Claudia, I'd love to get your point of view this too, because you're obviously a female who's been in Atlanta. There is Atlanta circles where the girls will let you know what time it is when it comes to how much money they have or their husbands have, and they're very showy. And when it came to Shamea, I have never, in my almost 20-year career in reality television, I have never met a woman who's had that much wealth access that never once blurted it out. Yeah. Shamea has, I have never met that person before. And it goes to show you, to me, the character that she has, regardless of how, listen, she may not be the best dressed in terms of what I'm seeing online about people judging, not judging, because it's not judging. People commenting on her wardrobe. But I do think what Shamea does have that I think is so incredibly interesting on the show this season, and we're one episode in, she's very likable. She's very fun. And she has a lot of money. And she doesn't use that to her advantage. And I find that to be a beautiful surprise.
I agree. Very refreshing. You know what I'm saying? And Shamea is a person who, it's been a long time since we saw someone introduced to this cast that we wanted to see win, you know what I'm saying, and root for. Shamea came in this motherfucker winning already, but some way, I don't know, personally as a viewer, I'm rooting for her already after the first episode. She's not arrogant and braggadocious. She's not pretentious. She's not flashy in those typical ways that we see. And what she was for me was a wake-up call. Like, she reminded me how far away from authenticity we've gotten with the cast of some of these reality shows, right? Because everything about Shamea read authentic to me last night. That was her real family that was showing up. They really fuck with her. They really be at her house when the cameras aren't rolling. That was her real husband. They got a real relationship. She's really a hands-on mom. You know what I'm saying? Open about having the help that she needs to support her daughter's needs. the way that her daughter ran up to her daughter Shia, which seeing that little beautiful girl run around that beautiful home like that, it reminded me of when Obama got elected and we would see them girls running on that lawn at the White House in them little wool coats and shit. It was a beautiful sight. I love seeing that. Shamea just gave us a lot of the real. She put the real back in the Real Housewives, and we never really saw that coming. So it was so refreshing to see. I cannot wait to see her develop more and more as a leader amongst this cast.
First of all, this sun is kicking my butt. I need to close my blind in a second.
Go ahead.
Can y'all just do a 2-shot? Because this is not. We can't.
Son was beating her ass, wasn't it? That's that Texas sun.
Get your girl, Dustin. But I agree with you. Shamea, I'm very impressed by her. I thought she was funny. I love when she shitted on everybody and had her daughter raise her up the stairs while she was in the elevator. Those are moments of subtleness that I appreciated. Like, I ain't got to tell you guys by verbally telling you I have an elevator. Let me show you. Let me see that. I have no notes for Shamea.
Absolutely zero.
I have 0 notes, just like they have the zeros after each comma in their bank account.
And they keep coming. The zeros just keep coming. And then the casual flex. When she described what her husband does, she's, you might walk through some of the airports you walk through. Those were some of the airports. Think about the magnitude of that. That could mean 2. That could mean 10. That could mean how you never know how many that means. So it was just enough information to know that that's some real long money. Okay. And they're gonna be just fine. And I love to see it. That's what the hell we watch this show for. I feel like we're behind the gates, so to speak. And that's how I felt.
That's a little bit better. I sorry, y'all. The sun.
First of all, Claudia, before you continue, somebody said this last week, and I've said this to you already. You look so gorgeous. Like, you are a beautiful. You've always listen. This is no shade. You've always been beautiful, and you know that. And we ain't got to talk about it. But you are strikingly beautiful lately.
Thank you. I'll share something. I had an allergic reaction to medication about 2.5 years ago, and it really caused a lot of damage in my face. And I kept getting fillers to fix it, like this area right here. And it got worse and worse and worse. My face got super big. People thought I was like doing weird stuff with my face, but I'm going to actually do a post about it. And I had them dissolve, put back in, dissolve, put back in. And I had finally everything taken out. They did an ultrasound on my face and they took all the stuff out. So my face doesn't have any filler in it. I took it all out. But I had surgery when I got my toes done and my teeth in the same month. And the antibiotics had a weird chemical reaction. I'm going to send you guys pictures of what happened in my face. I was deformed and I was trying to hide it I was like so depressed until recently. Like, they finally did an ultrasound. They said you have filler on different levels and they had to dissolve everything out. And I had a really bad allergic reaction. And also, as I'm getting older, ladies of a certain age, dairy, sugar, cheese, it really affects, it gives you puffiness and inflammation. So I've been using this like face roller to kind of like get to the lymphatic system. But I'm going to do a post because I really want people to be aware. A lot of times they come for you and you take it really personally, like, oh my God. And I really thought I was ugly. And I was like, I lost my beauty. It's over. And I thought there was nothing that anyone could do to help me. But sometimes you just got to go back to your natural state and just, be careful. But drinking water, I have no drama in my life. No one's dusty sun is stressing me out. And life is good. I'm happy. I'm in a good place, So, I'm not happy like Carlos because I didn't get my back blown out last night.
Oh my!
Hopefully soon.
I never said that. And Claudia, not that it's anyone's business. I'm not going to. Never mind.
Are you a top?
Let's follow the reality, Carlos. Let's follow the reality.
Yes, top.
I am not going to address that. What I will say is,
oh yes.
What about your?
I'm a power bottom. I throw it back, honey. You know how to do it. Look back.
What are your thoughts on this? This will go down in history. I have been doing Monday Night Live for 2 years.
Go down.
This is the messiest episode.
Yes, I'm so happy to be proud of a part of that.
I can't.
I mean,
Claudia Jordan, what are your thoughts on Shamea?
Listen, again, Shamea, they tried a little girl Shamea all the years I was around back then. They were little girl in her, Porsche's +1. She's just the former cheerleader. I think she was a dancer with the Atlanta Hawks or something like that. And she was always kind to me, no matter if me and her friend were in a bad place or good place. I got mad respect and love for Shamea. I always thought she was a cutie pie. And I love she's natural.
Yes.
Her body, her booty, like she didn't have this ridiculous butt. Like I love that. Like I feel like when I was watching the show, I finally, we've been begging for a show that's aspirational. People that you actually want to be like. Some of the last few seasons, little things I poked in, I'll see on social media. I don't want to be like some of these girls mad, arguing over the same shit 10 years later.
Like Courtney from last season. Remember Courtney, the friend of?
That was that last season? I forgot. You're right. You're right. It was a year hiatus. You're right.
Like I think
Claudia didn't watch it.
I didn't. I haven't. So I'm gonna start watching now though. But like because I didn't have a reason to. I don't relate to some of those lifestyles and some of the false lifestyles as well. Like I don't relate to that. I do like a girl like a Shamea that's like someone I can root for because she was in the shadows for a long time, overlooked, and quietly got married, had a family, has real wealth. She's not renting her clothes. She's not pretending to be something she's not. And I like women like that. Like I want to see what's going to happen with her life next week. And I think having those kind of more relatable people on these shows will bring the viewers back because once upon a time, Real Housewives of Atlanta was in the 3-4 million viewer range. And it plummeted down with some of these fake storylines, fake lifestyles, inauthentic characters. Just kind of throwing people together doesn't really work unless you're throwing all new people together. And I am here for Shamea. I'm very proud of her. Her house, you may not like her clothes. I thought she looked cute, her glam, and I love her house. And who doesn't want that lifestyle? Who doesn't want a husband that loves you, kids that love you, friend circle? She's not messy on the show.
No, never has been.
She's showing herself to be a good friend.
No, she is, and it's funny because I tell my raindrops this, and Dustin, I think I've said this around you too. I've always said like my ideal partner is sort of like a Savannah James or Marjorie Harvey. Like I want my man to have a soft life. Like I really want my man to have a soft life, but be a good person and just like, you can work if you want to. Who cares? But what I will, I want my man to be soft.
Claudia is cray.
No.
What's Claudia saying?
So you're not a bottom. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm bottom. These questions. I'm being nosy. Claudia, I can't take you, but I can. Look,
you can take it.
Claudia Jordan, ladies and gentlemen, and they. Okay, look. I say that to say, I look at Shamea, and I do have this vision in my head. Like I love spoiling my man. My man. I'm sorry. I just that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I think a gay Black man deserves a soft life, and I'm willing to give that to them. Right? When I look at Shamea, what makes me smile is the fact that, to me, Shamea is the ultimate wife. And this, I'm going someplace with this. We have not known for the 9 years they were married, if I'm not mistaken, what her man did for a living. She doesn't post her shit on social media. She's not shoving their relationship down our throats. She has this wealthy ass husband. And what Shamea has shown me that I'm going to put on my vision board is when you have a partner who just loves you for you and not trying to show you off in front of people or brag around the world. I think Shamea has the type of character that a wife should have or a husband should have. I look, Savannah and Marjorie, I'm adding Shamea to my list of like, that is somebody I want in my life who just isn't about bragging to the world and being showy about it. She loves that man. And we did not know what he did until 9 years later. And last but not least, T for y'all. He was is it
Gerald.
Gerald. Sorry, wrong show. Hey Mia. You know, Gerald ain't about that life in terms of being on camera.
Didn't he turn it down? Wasn't he the reason why she didn't accept the peach in the past when she was offered it? Yeah.
Yes, he did not want to do the show. And the fact that he looked at his wife and said, you have sacrificed everything for me. This is the least I can do. So shout out to Gerald, but I'm here for Shamea.
Can I make an argument? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead, friend.
Real quick, I just want to say I would like to make an argument for it. I think them not being prominently featured on Atlanta Housewives probably made their marriage a lot stronger. Because I think when you get on these shows, like there's immense pressure to prove to the world you're in a relationship. Your man loves you more than their man. We're really rich. We really got it. So you are almost forced by nature of the job to have to really stunt because you're constantly having people come for you. But because they never were really on the show, she didn't have a peach before. She had 9 years to really build that foundation of her relationship and make it really, really strong. So now when they get on there, it's the walk in the park. When you're in a new relationship, going on a reality show, you have to like exaggerate almost your relationship. They got to give you these crazy gifts on camera that, you know, they may have to return later or whatever, or I don't know. I'm just saying. So a lot of times you're doing things for the gram, for the show, because the producer's like, we need more. Or you're listening to the fans. They're saying your man ain't really about you like that. You got to show them next week, hey, I need you to buy me a Birkin bag and bring it to set. And that's not really real. So they had 10 years of being anonymous almost, not anonymous, but under the radar to really build that foundation. So I think that they're in the best position now, I think.
Yeah, I think that Shamea, this is why I feel the way I feel about people who we're not watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta to see who showed up and didn't, you know, cower to the hierarchy, and who came in and wasn't going to, you know, was going to take no stuff, and who could prove it. Just the absence of that messy energy is what made Shamea so refreshing last night, because the reason that she was so interesting to watch is because it was just her being her family. Yeah, she was stirring the pot when she was amongst the women, and that's what the subject of conversation was. But we weren't watching the show last night to see Shamea in a confrontation with somebody and how she was going to fare and what she was going to stand up and do. It was just good, literal reality television, and it felt like season 1 of the fucking Real Housewives of Atlanta, when we were interested and enthralled by these women's lives, and the arguments and shit when they happened made it even more exciting, because it was like, whoa, this is a disruption of what the show is actually about. They stood out. So last night felt like a return to that form, and I was happy to see it. Last night was the shit to me. I thoroughly enjoyed. I feel like they knocked that premiere out the park.
No, they did. So I want to get into a scene that divided Twitter, and I want to get your thoughts on it. So Shamea had drinks with 2 new girls, Britt Edie and Kelly. And in this conversation, Shamea and Portia have been friends for 16 years. And Kelly made a comment about why that woman's still that woman's husband. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the gist of it. And Shamea was like, well, no, you know, there was this debate on Twitter on whether or not Shamea had Portia's back, or should Shamea have stopped the conversation. Andy did ask Portia on Watch What Happens Live with Luxury Law Roach, and he asked Portia if she thought it was shady. Portia said she didn't. Law Roach said he did, and he didn't like that. Like, if that's my friend, you can talk about me around my friend. That's how I was raised. Boom, boom, boom. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Shamea should have ended the conversation the moment Kelly brought up Portia stealing someone's husband?
I'm more.
Claudia, go ahead, Dustin.
My bad. I'm more of the Law Roach. I'm more with Law Roach on this one. I'm y'all know, because we friends. I have hard lines when it comes to that shit. I don't let people talk shit about my friends. Full stop. Right. But Portia, had to answer that question the way she did last night, because that's what she better have said, because everybody sitting up here remembers season 9 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, where we saw Portia literally sit at that table talking about Shamea when Phaedra took her hands and did like this and said, Shamea, do them both, talking about Candy and Todd. And Portia sat there at that very table and said, they close. She close to both of them. They real close. And alluded to what Phaedra was alluding to at that table. So the same person that had that conversation about you on camera really can't have nothing to say about you. She showed up for it to me. You know what I'm saying? She did what she was supposed to do. So I just think that the record needs to reflect that. People forget what happened before, right? And Portia did that. She literally hung Shamea out to dry and threw her under the bus in season 9. So that's what you get.
Yeah, I will say there was a lot of hypocrisy coming from her, like being so shocked that Drew maybe run around with her husband. Portia, you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing with Simon and Fallon. I mean, yeah, we can sit here and split hairs about how close they were or not. But like one thing, if there's something that you've done or been in the vicinity of or adjacent to, when you go on television and act so appalled about something, it kind of does make you look a little bit like a hypocrite. Now, if you've never done it, I feel like then you have the reason to be very outraged. I would never do that to you. That's why it really hurts me. But if you've done that to someone else, maybe you think less of them because they weren't your bestie, but it's still a violation. And like if I came on here and said, oh my God, I can't, did you hear that woman's language, how much she swore? And I have a potty mouth, I would look like a hypocrite. So certain things, if I do the thing myself, it's best to probably kind of temper your comments and not say as much about it, because it does make you look a little bit hypocrite-y. I know it's not a word, but you know, a little bit like a hypocrite. I do think Shamea handled it as best she could. Remember, she's also on a TV show, and that's probably one of the notes that they had to probably cover. They had to hit that note. Someone had to ask the question, and Shamea was the one that's there that's going to have to answer, unfortunately. And that is something that people want to do know, that want to know about the relationship. That is a question that people do want to know. So I don't think we should be mad. No one should be mad at Shamea. They should go to the source, you know.
What are your thoughts on Kelly?
Kelly, you want to go first, Dustin?
No, ladies first. You go ahead, Claudia.
I'm confused with all of them. I'm trying to remember who is who.
Kelly, the short one.
I had to write notes. So let me see which one was Kelly. Oh yeah, Kelly was the one that brought it up, right? She's the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
All right, a couple of them look alike.
I love it.
I'm kind of like, hey, they a lot of them look alike, especially everyone's makeup is very similar in hair and everything. So, Kelly, I mean, she wanted to have that moment and bring that up, and again, that's what you're supposed to do on the reality shows. I get it. I get, because it's in the vein of being on television, but in real life, it would bother me if someone did that to me. But for us as viewers, we needed that to be done because we're here for the shits, right? Like we kind of want that. Sorry, I don't have a lot more to say on her.
Listen, I'm glad Kelly's in the mix. You need her. She's a necessary person on this cast. When we were talking about an ensemble cast of The Real Housewives, it's important to have a lot of different personality dynamics in play. And Kelly did exactly what she needed to do last night. To me, Kelly is using the playbook that Mia should use on Real Housewives of Potomac, right? Going through my own personal story and open about it, obviously leading with my love for my children, and beyond willing to get the mess started on the show with just a direct question, something as simple as that, not making anything up, just bringing something up. And I appreciated it. You need someone who's willing to agitate the story in that way. And I feel like she did a great job playing the villain last night.
Yeah, I like Kelly.
She didn't. You don't like it?
No, I like Kelly. I like Kelly a whole lot.
If she didn't do it, people would have said, "Oh, boring," and all that kind of stuff.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yes. It's one of those things where, listen, I like all the new girls. I think they all bring something different. Claudia is 100% spot on. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. If you don't say anything, she's boring. She's mute. Get her off the show. Why is she there? If you do say something, you're coming in hot. You're so thirsty. You really, yes, it's a lose-lose situation, which is why you just have to be yourself. And I think, look, do I think Kelly had a little like S on her chest? Yes. But my thing is, that's why you're here. Like Claudia said, why are you here if you're not going to ask the questions? And I thought Kelly did a great job. I like Kelly a whole lot. She's interesting. She's bubbly. I think she is going to be very blunt and direct. I have no notes for Shamea. I have no notes for Kelly. Let's get into Britt Edie. Britt Edie was also at the table. Britt Edie alleged. Well, Dennis kind of confirmed it, but let me just talk about it. Britt Edie said that Dennis brought her a diamond necklace on their first date. And Dennis made a comment on Twitter saying something about her kissing and telling. Now, this is my opinion. Claudia and Dustin, I would love to hear yours. I just said this 10 minutes ago, and Dustin and I are the same in this sense. I love spending money on my man.
Yeah.
Emphasis man. Now, the most I spent on the first date was close to $2,000. Okay.
That's cute.
Yeah. I'll spend 2 G's on a date. When you count like car service, dinner.
What's a good night out?
Yeah. I love a 5-hour first date. If it can go that long. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, who is this? I gotta go to Huntsville. I'll be right back. You know, whatever. So I don't mind spending money on a first date. I'm not buying you no diamond necklace on a first date. I questioning not the validity of the story because Dennis would have denied it. It makes Dennis look good to say, you know, don't kiss and tell. Claudia, you have always been beautiful, and I'm fascinated by that. So, is it normal from your experience? And let me tell you, I have tons of female friends who are gorgeous. None of my female friends who are gorgeous and sought after has ever been given a diamond necklace on a first date.
Never. Okay. A guy did give me diamonds before, but it was a creepy guy that I would never date. And usually the guys that give you gifts like that are usually from that. Like he was like, he owned an NBA team and he was so not my type. He was an old white man and I wasn't here for it. And I think one of my friends stole it. So I don't even know where it is right now. So yeah, I wasn't meant to have that. That doesn't happen to me. But I think I also give off masculine energy that I got it. I don't need nothing from you. And I think men see that and they don't see me as damsel in distress. I don't get that kind of, you know what I mean? Like me, there was a couple Africans that tried to get at me when I was on Atlanta Housewives, you know, one wired me like 20 grand for Christmas, but like that outside of that, I'm not bragging, but no one ever bought me. Like, I don't really get a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't, I think they think I come off. So I got it, but I want to let y'all know, I don't have anything. This is fake. I didn't know it's not 30 carats. I would like for that to happen in my life. And if someone out there would like to buy me a tennis bracelet, not a tennis bracelet, a tennis bracelet, I'm here for it. And I would gladly accept it because I did the hardworking, independent Black woman thing. I am fucking over it. It is overrated. You don't get respect by men. They don't care. They don't care. So I am done with it. I'm removing the cape. And all the times I was judgmental of the gold diggers, I am sorry. And I would like to join you in solidarity with all the Atlanta girls that run these niggas' pockets. Bring them my way. But no, the answer is no.
Yeah. I know beautiful women who have been treated, you know, exceptionally well by wealthy men and wealthy women too. So I know I've seen that happen for people. I've seen magical things happen. I've seen people get cars. I've seen people get gifts on the first date, jewelry. I've seen all that happen before. So it wasn't uncommon to me. And also, we don't know what kind of diamond necklace it was. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have went down to K Jewelers and got a little one too. She said she was in high school, right? Or it was way back in the day, Britt Edie. She said that Dennis bought her a diamond necklace on the first date. So
I didn't say who. I was saying ooh, because right when you're done, I gotta put y'all up on game about something with diamonds. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, look, we need to know that because I like diamonds and I think that gifts are a great love language. You know what I'm saying? And they're definitely one of mine. I think gift giving is a great way to express your appreciation for someone's time and their place in your life. you know, and I think that that's a great way to make somebody feel good, is giving them
Dustin,
Yeah.
before we get to Claudia's diamond investigation, what's the most you spent on the first date, Dustin Ross?
I don't know, but nothing. I don't know, because I like experiences. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it's a lot that goes into a date, because you want it to reflect, you know, how you view the motherfucker you taking on the date. So it just depends. Some dinners are expensive, some events are expensive, some ticket prices are expensive, some flights are expensive, some destinations are expensive. You never know. And I think that's something that should be reciprocal, right? Like, to me, it's all about being equally yoked, right? So like, and again, it's not about the monetary value of the gift. It's about the thoughtfulness. It's about the thoughtfulness, and it's about the fact that, wow, you really actually do that for me. That speaks volumes to me. You know what I'm saying? So I like getting gifts, and I like giving gifts. I think that's a great part. That's one of the most fun parts of being in a relationship, or just fucking around with somebody that's got it like that. That's fun. So I think it's dope.
Well, I'm a trick. I bought diamond gold dog tags and chains. I put rims on a nigga car before. I went to someone to firefighter school.
You see, that's what I'm talking about.
I done tricked off. I bought lace.
And still you rise, Claudia.
Red bottom, all kinds of shoes. I've done all of that. All that. Now, let me tell you something about these diamonds and these people. You got to be careful. This is all the raindrops. Listen to your girl. As a former journalist, I have uncovered something that's been going on in these streets with the diamonds. Lately, a lot of people have been wearing a lot of really big, gaudy, like diamond. I like gaudy too. I like a thick, chunky chain. And you're like, damn, they must really got it going on. There's something called moissanite, right? That is lab grown, or it came from something that is up in comets or something, asteroids, whatever, when they land. Anyways, moissanite, where it does test positive with a diamond tester. So you can have this is real, and it tests positive with a diamond tester, but it's really kind of like, it's not really like a mine. It's not really a diamond, but it looks and presents, it identifies as a diamond.
Not identify.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. As far as I'm concerned, I still don't know about that. Okay, I don't know nothing about that. Nothing. You could tell it's gotta match up with the lifestyle, right? Like, certain people are not gonna have these humongous chains on because the lifestyle just doesn't support it, right?
If the chain is 10 grand, they can get them for $800. I'm telling you, I just want people to beware. I want to put y'all, just beware. Someone may look like they got it. Like, you don't want to get Simoned. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may look like they got it, but they in moissanites. Second cousin to diamonds. Yes, Sea Breeze. They identify. They sell it to the rappers, like the big chains with like the big ridiculous moissanites, y'all.
Claudia is so funny to me. I can't.
It sounds like an STD. I think he got them moissanites. You know what I'm saying? It was moissanites all over.
So I want to get into, before we wrap things up, this has been one of my favorite episodes ever. Okay. I could talk to y'all all day. What did y'all think about the ending scene? So I want to get into two things really fast. Drew Sidora is working with Dennis. And then we're going to see what happens in the next episode where Portia and Drew have the discussion, right? We touched on that a little bit earlier, but I think the most important scene, because again, I like to make sure we talk about things that social media had a big reaction to. Do y'all feel like when Shamea was gifted her car and Portia came in, and it was this big debate on social media about, whether or not Portia was, trying to take Shamea's shine by being there. And I want to get y'all thoughts. Listen, I could be the minority, and that's fine. I didn't see it that way at all. I saw, and Claudia obviously knows what it's like to film a reality show, especially Atlanta Housewives with Atlanta traffic.
Yeah.
I think, this is my opinion, I think Portia knew this was the all-cast event of the first episode, which sets the stage for the rest of the season. And I think she knew, listen, I gotta look good. People run late. And you're sometimes held in the parking lot to get mic. It's a whole production. I didn't see it as if she was trying to rain on Shamea's parade. I saw it as she got there late. She happened to see that, and she was there for her girl. But what I did see is there seems to be, based on how that scene looked, that we are being set up a potential Shamea versus Portia, just based on like the sort of like innuendos here and there that was happening, the confessional bites that was happening. It appeared that we're being set up for that this season. But starting with Dustin, did you think that was done intentionally or just by happenstance?
Well, I saw the scuttlebutt, you know what I'm saying, about Portia's arrival online after the episode aired. And to me, let's zoom out.
What was the scuttlebutt? I'm sorry.
The conversation regarding Portia's arrival, you know what I'm saying, and whether or not what her intention was. To me, you cannot usurp or outshine a woman outside of her $9 million beautiful estate, right? Being gifted a $500,000 Cullinan by her husband of multiple years, father of 2 of her beautiful children, you know what I'm saying, in front of that party by showing up. Portia's arrival was not that impactful. So I don't understand how she could have upstaged that situation in any way. She got there when she got there, and Shamea didn't give a shit. She was happy about the whip she just got. Are we missing everything that's going on here in the assumption that Portia's arrival would throw any of that off? It didn't throw none of that off. Portia was there, and we moved the hell on. I was looking at the car and that house and everything else that was going on. I didn't give a damn about Portia being late. And I think that was one of those lazy plays that we need to get away from this season. Right? Like, oh, are you mad that Portia was late? And then that spurring a conversation that turns into something else. That's lazy producing. We don't want that. So if that's the way we going, nip it in the bud right now. We don't want it, right? Let Portia and Shamea argue about the way that Portia showed up in season 9, and let Shamea be like, we never actually had an opportunity to talk about that. I feel like you threw me under the bus back then, and it was not true what you said about me. Why did you say that, Portia? I think this is a great opportunity for you to make this right. I think that's what I would like to see them talk about. Not, you came late to my party. That's bullshit. So no, I don't think she did it on purpose. She got there when she got there, and who cares?
Well, isn't Portia always late? She's
that's the thing.
Figuratively.
Okay, so there's that. But I will say, when you are on a reality show, and I know we don't like to expose some things, but I have to. Sometimes you're there, and production holds you up from going into the scene so you can have a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So she may have been there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? Like sometimes that doesn't
go.
happen sometimes because it will make for a storyline.
Yeah, so sometimes you stagger the arrivals, right?
On purpose, right?
Well, I think. Well, the thing is this, because I don't think that's a secret, but I'll talk about it. Depending on, okay, I'll give you a good example of a season you were on, Claudia. Let's just say Puerto Rico, right? If I'm not mistaken, didn't the 3 of y'all arrive later? You, Kenya, and Cynthia, if I'm not mistaken. To that dinner.
No, we were there first, and then the ladies came in. So we
so it was the reverse. Yeah. So there are situations. Yes. So there are situations to where it's 2 examples from my experience, right? If the person is the one that everyone wants to address, they're going to be the last one to walk in.
Yeah,
because it's like dun 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 dun, right? Or if that person is going to like bring up something, so it does depend on something like that. But when it comes to Portia, from my experience, and Portia has talked about this, and it's actually funny. Portia lives, I'm not gonna say the city she lives in because that's rude. Portia lives very far. Very far. But go ahead, Claudia.
But I will say this. Yeah, it could be production's fault, or she could have just been like, I'll get there when I get there. I am the star. Because before we saw this episode, I would have thought this season would have been started off way different than this. I would have thought it was going to be the Portia Williams show, and it clearly is not. It's not going to be that. They may have arguments about her, or want to know about her and Fallon and Simon, but it doesn't appear that it's the Portia Williams show off the first episode. So maybe there is that. And then also, I will say this: if someone is truly my best friend, I would expect my best friend to be the first one there. My best friend should be there helping me set up damn there. You know what I mean? It's my birthday. You know how far you live. Like my friend, my girl I rock with the most in Dallas, her name is Chancey. She always shows up and she's late all the time to other things, but she knows if it's something that I need her to be at, she's going to be there, you know, like traffic or not. So I don't really know, but you are the best friend. So some strange Kenya Moore, Cynthia, people who are kind of on the season this year, not really. They're there before you, and that's your best friend of 16 years. Y'all grew up together. You better get your ass to my house on time. Get you an Uber or whatever. Figure it out. Uber Black, whatever. Waze, I don't know. But I would think that I would expect my friend to be there early. So I'm kind of split between, is it a production thing? Was it a traffic thing? But also, you are my best friend. And would Portia be mad if Shamea was late for her? I don't really know. You know her more than I do. What do you think? Do you think she would feel like that was a dig, or would she just blow it off like, you know, I know how Atlanta traffic is?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, honestly, I don't know. But listen, me working on the Atlanta show, because Atlanta traffic, number one, is insanely crazy.
It is.
And you do, and Claudia's right. Sometimes in production, people get different call times. So that is the truth. So it could have been a staggered arrival. It could have been on purpose. It could have been by happenstance. We don't know. But in terms of if the roles were reversed, I really don't know. I don't think she would care if Shamea was late to her party. But again, I've never filmed a Portia event where Shamea was there after people. I don't know. But I also wasn't paying attention at that time anyway. So I don't know. It's a good question though.
Yeah. So that's a part that, you know, and I know people are going to say, I see some comments that I don't like her. It's not, no, I'm giving y'all my opinion on things. Like I'm trying to be biased and unbiased. I'm saying not biased, but unbiased. It's like, would it be, would she feel the same way? And again, but then again, also production was at Portia's house filming her late, getting ready. So there's also that. So clearly they weren't forcing her to get there earlier. They would be like, hey, wrap it up. We got to go. Like, don't take your time with your makeup and your hair, your friend's events going on. So that could be, that kind of leads me to think maybe it was kind of played like that.
I will say this, as a producer watching it, and Dustin, I'm going to let you finish this too. I will say this, because I didn't think about this until Claudia brought it up. Because I watched the premiere as a fan, as a viewer, because I don't want to watch it with my producer mind. I will say this though, now as a producer head on watching it, Portia, I would have made sure Portia was last to arrive. I didn't think about that, because to your point is what I just said earlier, the don, right? Yeah. Portia arriving last, we saw what happened. She immediately got plastered with all of these questions. So to your point, I didn't think about that till just now. Portia could have been told like, you arrived later, but again, I don't know.
Because of the Kelly of it all. That's why. Because of the Kelly of it all. Because of the conversation that Kelly had regarding Portia and Simon and Fallon and the origin story of her relationship with Simon. They knew that Kelly would think about it. Kelly came to Shamea's house early. Shamea and Kelly had that sit down where they talked about how Shamea felt about Kelly bringing that shit up. They were setting all that up. So I think Portia's late arrival was for the purpose of her, you know, the crescendo moment of her confronting Kelly and having a conversation with Drew. Portia had a lot of work to do that night. So I think that somehow the conversation became, you know, her and Shamea, that dynamic, but it really wasn't about that. That was about like you said, Carlos, the big crescendo moment of her arrival was really, I think, more connected to the conversations that they knew she would have with Kelly and Drew that night. Also, Drew, when we were introduced to her this episode, when she was in the front yard playing football with her kids, she looked like that thing that's at the car wash, you know, the blow up thing where the arms like swing and shit. She had on that red pantsuit that was real baggy and full of air, and it literally looked like the thing that be outside the car wash. You know what, the people, I can't see the comments, but I know they know what I'm talking about. Drew looked just like that in that yard too. I thought it was one of the funny moments. You know what I'm saying?
They're saying that on Portia's interview with the Breakfast Club in the comments that she told them that production told them to kind of to wait to go in there. So
yeah, see, okay,
yeah.
But it'd be anticlimactic though, right? If they had her coming earlier, it would be boring. Like that wouldn't be good producing if they had her coming early, because it'd be weird, right? But if you let everyone talk their shit about her first, right, and like build it up, and then people go, "Where's Portia? Where's Portia?" And then when she finally gets there, boom, husband conversation, boom, you're late, boom, dentist thing. Of course, they had it, and then the show ends on a high note. So we want to go back and watch it next week. That's production 101, baby.
Yeah,
right,
and it worked, and it worked. So
yeah.
Great premiere to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Claudia, Jordan, Dustin Ross, thank you two so much again for this. If y'all came into this episode late, you missed a lot in the first 10 minutes. So make sure you guys watch the beginning. This was explicitly fun. It was fun. And I just enjoy when you two are on together. So anywho, enough of my rambling. Claudia, Jordan, let the world know where they can find you, follow you, support your many adventures and ventures, baby.
Okay, watch my podcast Wednesday live, Accidentally Informed, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East, myself and Erica Cobb. We shouted y'all out last week, and
I love Erica Cobb, by the way.
Yeah.
We're gonna all hang out together. I already promised her, so I'm making a date for us all to hang out. And then I'll be in Houston this weekend with the play, Games Women Play. So get your tickets at gameswomenplay.com. I'm looking for fun things to do out in Houston because I don't have to work Wednesday or Thursday. So y'all get my DMs and let us know what's going on out there. So yeah, and then hit me on Instagram at ClaudiaJordan.com. I mean at Claudia Jordan. Oh, that sounds old.com. Damn. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
No wonder you don't get diamond necklaces on the first day, honey.
I know. I don't. Yes. I'm senile, I think, actually.
You're going to get a life alert necklace. Listen, so shout out to the Raindrops. I love talking shit with y'all. Thank you for everything y'all do. I fuck with the Raindrops. If anybody is in New York Monday, pull up on me. There's a few tickets left for my second show at City Winery, Monday, March 17th on St. Patrick's Day. Go to citywinery.com and look that up. And I'll see y'all there. And I'll see y'all again for another Monday soon.
Yes. Claudia, can you come back to see us too?
Of course. When?
Keep your phone on.
I think this works, you guys. I'm just
Me
saying.
too. Me too.
I think we need a little estrogen up in here with all this testosterone, all this top energy.
Not the top energy.
You can have one bottom here.
Yeah, let's make the show verse. This works. So I think this is cool. Yeah. This our show. The Flip. That's what we're gonna call our show. The Flip.
Yeah.
Every Monday night at 8:00. We flipping y'all on y'all ass about
you top to the bottom. I'm renaming it.
That's right.
I can't. Claudia, Dustin, I love you too so much. I'll see y'all again. Thank y'all so much. Give it up, y'all, for Dustin Ross.
This is so
and
fun.
Claudia Jordan. I can't. Those two make me holler. I love them so much. I know, Dale McGowan. I love the chemistry we all have. The Flip. Not what they say, not make the show verse. I know these people are crazy Ashley Hawkins. But you three are everything together. No, I love them because we're friends in real life. So it's nice for y'all to see great chemistry just in life, but especially on this channel. And I, in real life, love those three. I mean, three. I can talk about a third person here, child. Anywho, catch me next Monday. And make sure y'all watch the Regina Carter interview. That's out right now. I'm dropping another one next Tuesday. And, so I have a newsletter, okay? I have a newsletter. Make sure you guys submit me questions. So go on Twitter, hashtag Reality with the King, and ask me questions, and I will choose one question per week to answer. Because I love my raindrops, and I will always do my best to make sure you guys are seen and heard and know that you're loved and welcome. All right. Love you guys. Enjoy your Monday, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.